Good afternoon. This is Josiah Pike with Alaska's News Source. We've learned today in a story we're putting out this afternoon as well that a Palmer jury found 55-year-old Darren Robbins guilty of 5 counts of third-degree assault, according to the Alaska Department of Law. Another Palmer jury found him guilty of third-degree misconduct involving a weapon last month in relation to the same incident. Now, the jury heard from 5 victims who were friends renting a yurt for the weekend in Talkeetna. Now, what the Alaska Department of Law says is the jury heard that around midnight, one of the friends went outside and was startled to find an armed man he did not know, who turned out to be Robbins, standing on the yurt's deck right outside the door. Now, immediately upon coming out of the yurt, Robbins drew his handgun from his holster and directed the victim to stand over in the corner of the deck. Now, a second victim came outside the yurt to see what was happening, and Robbins directed him to do the same thing. Now, the jury heard that the defendant lined up 2 of the victims and stated he was going to take them into the woods and put bullets in their heads. And the remaining 3 victims, who also observed Robbins armed and heard his threats, pled with him not to shoot their friends. With Robbins standing by the yurt's only exit, the other victims that remained feet away felt like they had nowhere to go and were fearful for their own lives as well. And the jury heard evidence that Robbins told the victims he had been standing outside their yurt listening to them for over 2 hours. Despite pleas to put away the handgun, he refused. The jury heard that the incident lasted for over 20 to 30 minutes, while the victims attempted to de-escalate the situation and play into his narrative. Now, eventually, the victims were able to coax Robbins into putting away his handgun. Excuse me. Robbins then left the yurt and disappeared into the woods. The victims fled the yurt and reported the incident to law enforcement. Now, through investigation, troopers were able to ascertain the identity of the defendant through assistance of the property owner and nearby neighbors. It was discovered that Robbins lived next door to the yurt. Now, a separate jury also heard that Robbins is a convicted sex offender and cannot possess any firearms capable of being concealed. Sentencing in this case is scheduled for the 25th of June. Now, the defendant is presumptive 2 to 4 years on each felony offense. That's the information we have. Once again, to repeat, Darren Robbins, 55 years old, was found guilty by a Palmer jury of 5 counts of third-degree assault, while another Palmer jury found him guilty of third-degree misconduct involving a weapon last month in relation to the same incident. That's the information we have now from the Department of Law. We'll keep you updated on this story should any new information come about. So stay tuned to our website, alaskasnewssource.com, and our streaming platforms to make sure to get the latest on this story. Thank you again for tuning in this afternoon to learn what we're reporting in relation to this story. We'll keep you updated as it goes along, and have a good day.